Baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old joint.
Okay.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation Podcast Festival Edition. Today we are with Amy Davis. She is in Elmwood, Illinois. They just got over with the Strawberry Festival. They also host the Elmwood Fall Festival. Amy, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Amy, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up? Talk a little bit about your family and your career.
Okay, so I grew up in Erie County, Pennsylvania, right,
Oh, nice.
close to the lakeshore, Lake Erie. And we ended up in Illinois when we were, my husband and I were first married. He works for Caterpillar, and so Caterpillar brought us to Illinois. And so my degree is in social work, but I worked at a community center here in Elmwood when we first moved here, and then was home for 13 years raising my family. I started a photography business out of my home. So I was a small business, and then worked at a local bank for a short time, and then had the opportunity I was on city council. I was also involved in the Elmwood Development Association, which hosts our Strawberry Festival and a lot of the community events here in town. Had been the president of that organization for years. And then was on city council and had the opportunity to take this position as Elmwood's economic development director. So,
Very good. Very good. All right, talk a little bit about the Fall Festival. I always ask these three questions. Kind of helps people who are really looking for something new to go to this year. What does it look like? Number one, what does it smell like, meaning food? And number three, what does it sound like? Activities, entertainment, things they're going to hear while they're there.
okay, so what does it look like? The Elmwood Fall Festival. So Elmwood has a beautiful town square surrounded by our businesses. So to picture, I mean, it's just like that Norman Rockwell small town. And for the Fall Festival, our park is filled with carnival rides and, of course, entertainment. There's a stage with live entertainment. So you're going to hear music, you're going to hear rides, you hear a lot of laughing, just a lot of activity, very fun environment. And then this carnival food is the smell. And so you're smelling all those yummy, like the fried dough. And it's very inviting and very fun.
Perfect. Perfect. How long has this event been going on for you guys?
So when we talk about the Strawberry Festival, it has been running continuously for 33 years. The Fall Festival is a little different because it originally started, years and years ago. In Elmwood historically had a fairgrounds
Uh-huh.
up on the edge of town. And so the Fall Festival, I believe, started there and then kind of has not been continuously run. But I would say, the last 20 years or so, it's been continuous.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Talk a little bit about the impact on your community that these two events have.
So we are a town of about just under 2,500 people, and so when
Mhm.
you hold an event like this, we're only about 20 minutes from Peoria, which is a substantial city. So when you hold an event like this, it draws in a crowd from Peoria, Galesburg, and all of our surrounding small towns that are very similar to us. And so the Strawberry Festival is a one-day event, and you're bringing in thousands of people that just not just seeing your community, let alone going into the restaurants and the shops. And also the Fall Festival, our Fall Festival is a 3-day event, and so it's Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday. And so that's an opportunity for people to come out and just really get to know our community, and like I said, just really experience that small town feel, which I know people talk about community, but I don't know that a lot of people have ever experienced community and what that really feels like. And when you get somewhere like Elmwood, and I think you start to realize, what that really means and how that feels. And so it's a lot of fun to invite people out, and I think it's huge. I always say if you visit Elmwood once, you'll want to come back. So it's just a really great draw to get people into town and to see all the things we have to offer.
That's fantastic. What's some of the well, pick one because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of energy. What's a moment that really stands out for you that makes it worth it all worthwhile?
So we just got done with the Strawberry Festival, so I'll use that as an example. Like doing something simple like the festival itself takes a whole committee and hours of planning and time, and of course the day before or the few days leading up, it's, all hands on deck. It's a lot of, sometimes physical labor, like you're just pouring yourself into it. And then you see people arrive and they're enjoying themselves. And that, like something as simple as building a photo booth and then watching people use it, those little things. And then you see people posting on social media and they're just having such a good time. And our committee chair, she's like, I actually teared up a few times yesterday watching people just enjoy themselves, at this thing that we put so much effort into, and sometimes are, throwing our hands in the air in frustration. And then you see people show up and it makes it worth it when you see people enjoying their time.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. I'm in live entertainment. I'm in live music. So I always ask these next two questions because I like to just survey the nation and get people's opinions. But I need to know this, and I want to know, what is the best concert you've ever seen your entire life?
Well, that's a hard question for me. I haven't been to a lot of concerts. I love live music, but I'm more of a like, let's go sit and have dinner and listen to live music, But concerts, oh goodness, years ago, and it would have been probably my very first concert. My husband and I weren't married yet, but we went to the Steve Miller Band, and that
that's perfect. Okay, now let's think. We're going to think. You can look at this next question two ways. One, a personal preference, or you can think about the impact that would have on your community and the economy. But dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to Elmwood. Who would you bring?
Oh goodness. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead, and people probably say this all the time, but I'm gonna say Elvis. And the reason I'm saying that is, so I have a daughter who is 20, and all of her and her friends went to see the Elvis. They're like it's been, his music is new again to that generation, and I think that an artist like him would tie together every generation in our community.
That's fantastic answer. I love that. As it goes through there. Amy, how do people find out more about what's going on in Elmwood and your work there with the development and all of the events that you have going throughout the year, not just the Fall Festival or the Strawberry Festival?
Yeah, so our city has a website. It's elmwoodil.com. And on that website, there's links to all the different festival pages. There's links to just different community events. Elmwood has a lot going on. This might be interesting too. We have the longest running municipal band. One of the longest running municipal bands in this area. So I don't know if you're familiar with municipal bands where you're at in Kansas, but it has lasted. Goodness, it's got to be getting close to 200 years. But our community kept it going through wartime, because a lot of times when the men would go away for wars or conflicts, the bands would stop. But our community worked to keep theirs going. So every Sunday night through the summer, there's live music in our park. And then also the Elmwood Development Association. The past 3 years, we've been working to bring live music, just like do a street party and have a band and play live music, and people love it. People love to be around that live music.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Amy, thank you so much for being on with us today. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for contacting.
Well, baby, I'm on it with the ball.